The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Eric Kane here with the Eagles Sports Network, and this week's Sunday Conversation shines a spotlight on former Carson Newman athletes who have now joined the ranks of the coaching world. The path to coaching can take several different avenues, but one characteristic almost every coach shares is that they were once an athlete at one point or another. Carson Newman has a number of unique scenarios this year where first-year assistant coaches were once players on that same team just a year prior. The reason these former athletes decided to grab a whistle once their playing days were over was because they still had a burning passion for the game they love.
I always had pretty good knowledge of baseball, and I kind of took pride in really knowing the game. So I just thought it would definitely be a good fit, and I really couldn't see myself sitting in an office anywhere doing busy work like that. So I just really wanted to stay in baseball, and I knew that the playing career has to come to an end at some time. So I really just wanted to keep that going and to be able to learn every day and to keep learning the ins and outs of coaching college baseball every day. I'm really blessed to be able to do that.
Former women's basketball player Tatum Bersham acknowledged that her playing career was everything she had hoped for it to be. But the opportunity to start coaching right here in Mossy Creek seemed like the perfect fit at the time.
I really wanted to stay around in basketball. That was the major thing, and I feel like staying on at Carson Newman was huge for me because our assistant coach was leaving. I'd already talked to Coach Mincy about coaching in general, and he talked about having me on and staying here. So I thought that'd be a good opportunity to start. And he always talks about like a loyal standpoint, and I think that's very important with coaching. So that made me. That's my big attraction to it too. I love being around the game. I loved the players that I played with here. So just being here another year with them and hopefully more years to come, I was really excited about that.
For Carson Newman assistant men's soccer coach Cavi Lachawa, coaching was not something he envisioned right away once his playing days were over. But because of certain situations revolving around the creek, Lachawa latched onto the chance and has been thankful ever since.
It really wasn't anything that I'd thought about. I'd always done a little bit of kids coaching and coaching the younger teams around here, but it was never something I looked at too much. But then with coaching changes that happened here, kind of the Christmas after I finished playing, I was lucky enough with Richard Moody calling me and asking me to help out coaching, and just from there really kind of fell in love with what I was doing, and I enjoy it every day, kind of helping these guys and helping people to get better. And I've enjoyed every day. I enjoy coming in, and I don't think you get that with every job.
Among the many adjustments these coaches have had to make in the last year, deciphering between friend and coach has been said to be one of the most challenging. For the most part, these individuals have been teammates with the players for years and consider some to be lifelong friends. At a certain point, each coach has had to acknowledge that they're in a different role than they once were before.
That's one of the hardest things, and one of the things I say to a lot of the boys, that maybe if I'd done it differently, I might have gone somewhere else, but then if I'd gone somewhere else, I might not have had the passion for the team that is here. It is difficult. A lot of these guys go from being friends and you're used to hanging out with them outside of practice, outside of school, and then suddenly you kind of have to switch off that relationship, especially in the season. You have to kind of have a bit more of a professional boundary.
I don't want to be cliche about it, but it's a lot of how they are as players too, and the relationship that we had before this. So kind of in a leadership role when I played here, so it made it a lot easier to transition. But honestly, it's just how mature that they were, and they made it easy for me, because it's difficult at first, but when we go through practices and meetings, they treated me with the utmost respect so that the younger players coming in could see that. So that was special to me, and that made me feel good, and just a lot of credit to them.
I played with some guys on the team for 3 years, and of course I want to keep those friendships, but I also have to draw a little line between player and coach. Like I said, my last year as being a leader on the field, I feel like I had respect for my teammates. So becoming a coach, it wasn't like I had to flip a switch and now be like super serious all the time. I feel like it was kind of an easy transition, and they look at me as a peer definitely, but I think they also view me as a coach, and I think there's been a good balance between that.
Though there's no telling how long these young coaches will spend on the sidelines in Mossy Creek, one thing is for certain. The lessons learned both as a player and coach at Carson Newman are traits that they will carry with them wherever they go.
My biggest takeaway from Carson Newman is probably a loyalty standpoint, especially working with Coach Mincy as a player and as his assistant coach. He speaks about that a lot, and it's really stuck with me. I like coaching under him. I could do it for many, many more years, and I look forward to doing that as a fact. But probably loyalty and just being true to other people around you and true to him and true to our program and all the people involved.
Not have to be in control of everything. You kind of always want to be in control of everything, and you realise that you can't be. Some things are completely out of your control. You can't make people work hard. A lot of it has to come from themselves. I'd say I'm a lot more independent. There's one of those things where when you're a player, everyone's kind of constantly asking, well, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Are you this? Are you tired? Are you ready to go? And when you're a coach, you don't get asked those questions anymore. So you might be tired and you might be whatever, but you always have to be ready to give everything for the session that you're about to run or to the players that you're about to talk to. So I think that's one of the big things I've learned, is that kind of who helps the helper. And as a coach, you kind of have to look out and find your ways to process it.
Having a young former player on the coaching staff certainly adds another element to the direction and strategies used for game planning. Carson Newman baseball coach Tom Griffin said that these former players know the current players and the expectations that are set before them within the guidelines of the program. Griffin also noted that as long as he is a coach, he will do all he can to hire within year after year. For the Eagle Sports Network, I'm Eric Kane.